Not even your Super Saiyan strength will be enough, I'm afraid. Your effort is in vain. If the Supreme Kai was unable to extract the sword, how can a simple mortal like yourself ever succeed?
You did it!
The Z sword is free!
Well, Kibito, it would seem that you have underestimated our young friend.
So I think by now we're all well acquainted with the arming sword of medieval Europe, the single-handed short sword wakizashi of Japan. But what about the single-handed straight sword of medieval China? Now, even though this sword fell out of favor for the military since the Han Dynasty, you would still see this on the hips of dukes, magistrates, scholars, but most importantly, a general. It was a symbol of the general during most of the Chinese dynasties, even after the Han Dynasty. Most of the Chinese swords that we're all familiar with are just mainly for forms practice and can be quite sloppy. But this historical reproduction by L.K. Chen has such a powerful cut. It's quite excellent for offense, and it has a discard for a well-rounded defense. And along with this intricate pommel for a fabulous counterbalance. I wouldn't want to get hit on either end of this thing. One of my favorite features is this dyed blue true rayskin wrap, and no wrap, no problem. It's going to hold onto your hand like a eunuch in court influence. Lastly, it comes with a lanyard that wraps around the wrist, just in case you drop it. Or just keeping it handy if the Mongols get too close. So this style of sword has been around since at least the 7th century in China, but obviously it looks quite different than its design in the Ming Dynasty. It went through a lot of changes. So I think the biggest question you might have is, well, why does it have a discard? But contrary to popular belief, China's had discards since probably before anybody, or as long as the steppe at least. So I have a theory that possibly the discard came about on swords from the steppe during the Tang Dynasty, or as an indigenous Chinese invention, since we see them on bians during that time period. But I also believe that Japan might have got them from either trading with the Tang Dynasty or Jurchen raids during the 1000s AD. But it is quite muddy when discards started appearing on Jian. It certainly wasn't the first kind of guard that was used for these styles of swords. You really see them only pop up in the mid to late Ming Dynasty. Now, could this have been inspired by Japanese swords? I'm not so sure, since China's already had discards on different weapons in that time and before. So it is quite a question, and I hope to figure out more in the future. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. But since Japan, China, the steppe, and a lot of different cultures in East Asia all had discards, it's really hard to know when this came to be. I am quite fond of this tip type, but apparently it comes from it originally being sharp and then ground down to this kind of shape. But I still think it's a good stabber. Now this sword is about 3 feet long, made out of high carbon manganese spring steel. And even though it isn't Sanmei or has the old style kind of iron or steel made in this period, the Ming Dynasty, I still think that it's really good. It's a better quality steel than you'd get in that time period, and also makes things a lot cheaper. Replicating those ancient technologies is pretty expensive, so I think that this is a plus, especially for somebody who's just buying a sword for looks and for practice cutting. We don't need everything to be exact, right? Puts it at a better price and you get a tougher blade. I think that's a win-win. Plus these have cast steel fittings, so you know you're getting a tough sword. The only thing I necessarily had trouble with was the fittings on the scabbard and how they'd slide around. I just glued it in and made everything better, but honestly, these scabbards are only built for storage. They're not built for martial shenanigans. This mid to late Ming Dynasty Jian may not be the zenith of this style of sword according to some, like the Han Dynasty, but it is still a symbol of China's martial culture and its perseverance throughout time. It still survived during the Mongol invasions and the incursions of the Japanese, so this is quite the symbol of the ancient culture of China, and I will make sure to cover many more weapons that are a part of their culture as well.